Everyone. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the newspaper, and this notice has been posted. The next open meeting will be on September 3rd, 2020. Welcome to the regular meeting for August 20th. A roll call, please.
Councilman Cannon. Councilman Hirsch.
Yes, here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilwoman Montone.
Here.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Martucci.
Here.
Mayor Tagliarini.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. I'd like to ask our attorney now if he would be so kind as to give us the executive session resolution.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution authorizing the Township Council to enter into executive session. Whereas the Township Council are mindful of the right of the public to attend and witness meetings of governmental bodies at which public business is discussed and to be involved in all phases of governmental action. And whereas the Open Public Meetings Act nonetheless recognizes the authority of a public body to exclude the public from meetings in certain enumerated instances in which disclosure of matters discussed could endanger public safety, property, or other public interest or invade individual privacy. And whereas, as authorized by the Open Public Meetings Act, be resolved that the Township Council will meet in private session at 6:40 p.m. on August 20th, 2020 to discuss the following specific items: contractual Monmouth Alliance Energy Aggregation Program, personnel. Be it further resolved that the matters so discussed will be disclosed to the public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Can I have a mover on that, please? Someone make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Yeah. Second.
Second, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into executive session, and we're going to come out as close to 7:30 as possible. And at that point, we will announce if any action has been taken because of this executive session. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you at 7:30.
We
Yes.
are recording.
Great. Good evening, everyone. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the newspaper and has been published, posted in public places. The next meeting of this council will be September 3rd, 2020. Welcome to the Aberdeen Township Council Workshop Meeting for August 20th, 2020. Mr. Manager, will you walk us through our workshop agenda, please?
Sure.
Can we do a roll call first?
Roll call first. Go ahead.
Councilman Cannon.
Here.
Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilwoman Montone.
Here.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Martucci.
Here.
Mayor Tagliarini.
Yeah, thank you very much. Brian?
Okay, so we have two resolutions and we have one proclamation on for tonight. The proclamation is for Hunger Action Month. And then we have two resolutions. We have a shared service agreement for the emergency dispatch services. Agreement is attached. That is the 911 services that we do a shared service through the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office. That's our dispatch for issues in town. So that is a re-up because we already have, we're already using them now as our 911 service. That's why the chief's on tonight. He wants to make sure that it's taken care of. And then we have item number 2 is relief for payment of property taxes for permanent disabled United States veteran. Those are our two resos. And then Mayor, I'll have short comments in my manager's report regarding some of our road projects that are going on and the vote by mail situation and our town hall open for appointments only.
Terrific. All right, I take a motion to leave workshop, please, into the regular meeting.
Motion moved from workshop to regular meeting.
Second on that? Good, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Good,
Aye.
great, very good. Thank you, everybody. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the newspaper and notice that this meeting has been posted. The next open public meeting of this council will be on September 3rd, 2020. Welcome to the Aberdeen Township regular meeting for August 20th, 2020. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cannon.
Here.
Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilwoman Montone.
Here.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Martucci.
Here.
Mayor Tagliarini.
Here, thank you very much. It should be duly noted that no formal action was taken at our executive session meeting. So we're going to move to a moment of silence. And traditionally, this is the part of our meeting we think about all the men and women in our military who protect us here at home and on foreign soils to allow us to meet in meetings like this. Since the pandemic, we've added so many more people to this moment to recognize the police, fire, first responders, doctors, nurses, researchers, and everyone in the medical field that's working so diligently to keep us as well as possible and to find a vaccine. And of course, I always allow everyone to have a moment for their own personal intentions also, which we'll do at this point in time. Thank you, everyone. And we've also been doing the best we can with our salute, and we'll continue that. So if you would all join me with the salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America,
And to the
the
republic
republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God.
indivisible,
With
liberty,
and
justice
justice
for all. That might not have looked as good as the convention last night with the 40 or 50 people doing it, but the intentions are the same. And I thank everybody for that salute of the flag. Right now, I'd like to start with some committee reports. And the first thing that I'd like to mention that on August 26th, it will be the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which has given women the right to vote. And it is quite historic. And what's going on now is historic, and we're not going to get involved with political. We don't do that on these council meetings, but it is a great thing, and we congratulate all the women of our country and everyone who got this passed 100 years ago. So our thoughts are with everyone with that, and I'll leave that for now, and I will go to any council person who'd like to be recognized with any type of report. Mr. Hirsch.
Yes, Mayor, I just want to make mention of an incredible program that we do in town with our summer concert shows. This has been a really trying year, and I just want to make mention that it has been a tremendous success. I've attended every concert so far this year. The last one is this coming Tuesday. And a very special thanks goes out to Brittany, because without you, this would not have happened. And given the challenges we've had this past year, it was such a breath of fresh air, literally, to go to the concerts on Tuesday nights. Thanks, Britt.
And in that line of thinking, Councilman, you all know how this will disturb me in the sense that Aberdeen Day, as we know it, will not happen this year because of the COVID situation, because our crowds on Aberdeen Day exceed any EO that's out there right now. So we are working, and I thank Councilwoman Montone for joining me on that Aberdeen Day committee. We're asking Britt maybe to find another concert that night, to have something, but we had to postpone the fireworks. We had to postpone the day as we know it, because we do get thousands of people on Aberdeen Day in all parts of our town. So it is it's disturbing for me to have to say that, but we're doing our best with our manager and recreation department to find other things to maybe just have some type of people gathering together in a safe way. So that's all I have on that. So again, I'll ask any other council person.
Mayor, I just wanted to thank the DPW and the director of the department for doing an excellent job in cleaning up from the storm. I also wanted to say hello and thank you for joining us to Lieutenant Governor. It's apropos that the 19th Amendment was recently passed, and one of the women who've risen highest in our state politics is joining us this evening. And with that, I bet one of the favorite things of her being out of politics is not listening to politicians talk. So I'm gonna let it skip
You
down.
said that, I didn't.
I'm not gonna tell her not gonna tell you the citizens can't go before her, but she is number 7. I'll just point that out.
Stop.
Any other council folk with a report tonight? Okay, so we know that our chief has to get to another appointment rather quickly. So I'm going to ask our chief of police to give us a report.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council. I appreciate the opportunity to get my report in real quick. I'll be brief. Just on the bright side of COVID, if there is a bright side, you were aware that we were touched up pretty bad in the police department. We had a number of people under quarantine for 14 days, and I'm happy to report that they're all back. And everybody's healthy, so we're slowly getting back up to full strength. We have a couple of folks out with some injuries, and they're on the mend, and we expect them back very shortly. The COVID numbers have been fairly steady, and so I guess that's good for us. The states around us are bouncing back and forth. They're open or not open with the travel bans. We have several folks in the academy. So far they're doing well. 2 of the others that we picked up are working now. That's working out great so far. The last thing I want to report on is, which Councilman Cannon spoke about, was the pickup of the vegetative debris throughout the town. We had to activate our permit from the DEP, which is called the TDMA, which is the debris management, temporary debris management area, which is located at our Public Works. That was permitting that we received about 5 or 6 years ago. It was a pretty extensive process, but we received it from the DEP, and this was the first time that we had to activate it. So our range now is filled with a forest of trees and branches. And they're working on the Public Works folks are working on a tub grinder to clear that out. So other than that, right now things are on the upswing and are improving. So I'm happy to report that. So that's about what I have tonight.
Very good. And Chief, of course, please extend the council's best wishes to you, your executive staff, and your entire team for doing everything between the COVID and then the power outages. And I know we're stretched pretty thin. So just a terrific job, Chief, and I want to congratulate you on behalf of the council.
Thank you, and I'll pass your words along to them as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now get to your other appointment. Okay?
I will. Thank you. Have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Chief, very much. That appointment is with his wife, and that's how important it was to get him there, right? So that was a good thing. And now I'd like to call on our manager for the state of the town, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First I'll start off, again, I want to thank DPW and our park maintenance crew for all the hard work they did. Our guys started Tuesday afternoon as soon as the storm blew through, and it was safe to let the guys go back out and start debris cleanup. And they worked every day since then. Even on Saturdays, we had them in to clean up the debris. The parks maintenance crew were working in the park areas, trying to get as much as that cleaned up and safe as possible. We had some parks that had a lot of tree limbs down, but the guys worked their butts off, and I have to appreciate all their hard work. They started first thing in the morning, and by the time I went out to check on the progress on the sign days and all the different sections of town, I didn't even know that they were already gone. they work from the moment they got going in the morning, and as soon as they can get all that stuff done, so they can still try to get other work done in the township as well, so they could keep on moving and keep operations forward. So again, kudos to all of them, the director, the supervisors, and on the DPW side, and again, my director and assistant director on the park side. That really everybody worked hand in hand together, and I can't say anything negative about anything. They got everything out of there. The guys worked on Saturday, got in there, got the stuff out, got out on Saturday. The town's back to normal a lot quicker than some of the other towns that still have tree limbs and stuff still on their curbs as they're still going around picking it up. Now we do have some that are still out there that came down because they finally got someone either to come help cut stuff down, or JC&P&L finally came out with their tree crew to move stuff. So we do have to work with some residents to move some things around, but again, 99.9% of the town is clean and back to normal, and we're on to the next show. So we're doing well there. Just want to remind everyone, as of this past Monday, we have now opened up town hall by appointments, and people have been calling in and coming in. A lot of them actually for tax payments and to meet with the finance office, which actually the finance office is so happy to see residents coming in. Even if they're complaining about their taxes, they're still happy to deal with them because they've been in quarantine away from everyone. But it is working. So if any resident that does want to come to town hall to meet with a department or a staff member, please just call town hall and either go through our directory or go through the receptionist to get to that department. That department directly will set up the time for you to come to town hall, right to the front doors. You just notify us when you get here. Of course, we do this pre-screening process of, again, have you traveled outside of the state? Have you been around any sick people? Have you been sick? And you are temperature screened when you do come in, just to check your temperature. And then you go right back into your business. We have, as you guys have all known, and I've told you for the past couple months, we do have the plexiglass up now for safety glass throughout the areas. I know some counters used to be wide open. They have now been covered for safety reasons. We do have 6-foot separation stickers on the grounds throughout the building. So it's a good pilot. We're testing it out to see how we're doing with residents coming and going from the building. And hopefully at some point, we will open fully. But right now it's working out. The first week has done very well. And residents, if they want to come in, they can. If not, the regular drill that we have the night drop boxes. One on the side of the building for any of your tax payments or correspondences that are in a secure locked box. And then during the day, we have the drop box in the front of the building for mostly construction, because it's the bigger box. If you have to put plans or permits in, you can definitely drop in there. And we actually have just ordered a brand new drop box for the front of the building. That'll be a lock and secure bin that we're going to have. And then it's going to be out there no matter what, even after COVID or beyond COVID. We'll have that drop box in the front, so anyone that needs to drop anything off, especially if it's a bigger package that can't fit in the financial night drop box, you'll have that as well, and that'll be bolted down in the front entrance. And again, you can call town hall every day. We're there 8:30 to 4:30, and we'll be able to assist you in any way possible that we can. Just want to give a couple of our road program updates, just so people know where we're at, and Mayor and Council, where we're at too, if I haven't spoken to you already. Today we had a pre-construction meeting for Van Brackle and Hawthorne. Very good meeting today with everybody, all the stakeholders involved in that. Esposito Construction is looking at a start date of the middle to late September. I had April for some reason, but it's middle to late September. They just have 2 projects in front of us that they're finishing up on, and then they will be strictly on us. And of course, I can't find the other paper, but I believe he said with both streets, most likely, I think it's going to be a 3-week turnaround period on everything that's going on. So I had a sheet of paper that told me that. I think he told me 3 weeks today. We just have some traffic issues we have to deal with, especially on Van Brackle, because some of our dead end streets, they were a little worried about letting people in and out with the road closures, but they were very happy today, and they can't wait to get started. They just got to finish up 2 other towns that they're in right now, and then they are in Aberdeen handling those roadworks. We also have reconstruction of Sherwood has started. That began on Tuesday. So that project is now finally going on, and we'll hope to see good things there. The bid is out for the reconstruction of Cortland and Cornell and County. So that bid was advertised as Tuesday, and as soon as we get that bid back and we have our bid opening, which I believe maybe next Friday, we will have the bid opening for that. And I may just keep everything moving after the engineer reviews everything and I get everything up to the town attorney for his review. I will ask him for what his turnaround time will be. And if it's in between meetings, just to keep the program going, I may ask for a special meeting just to approve the contracts so we can get the pre-cons and all the other contractual paperwork moving once you guys approve the contract. So to be determined on that, and we will keep you up to date on those issues. Sherwood, Cortland, myself, the finance director, and the engineers, we've all worked out the Atlantic Ave design work project. So we are beginning the design phase of Atlantic Avenue. Atlantic Ave started out as a simple mill and pave project. We thought was going to be simple, maybe. And then we had some water pipe issues that we now have to reconfigure some of the water and sewer pipes over there from water main breaks. So that was an add-on now to the project, but it's going to stop the water main breaks that we've had at least since I've been here already. I think it was 3 on Atlantic alone. So this project is a little bit slower than we progressed on, so I do apologize, but we are now on the right direction. They're starting the design work now, so when we start the plan, when we finish up the plan for the actual construction, that part's done, they can start, and we can get the water main relocated. And then as soon as that's done, we will do the pave. I'm still trying to have that done before the end of this year. Me and Anthony from CME are still trying to get that to be the goal. And as long as we can get the guys to work and it's not going to have an issue with the infrastructure on weather, we will continue until we have to stop. So we're going to be working as far as we can into the end of the year. I don't want to go into the new year, but I can't, I'm not the weatherman, and even though the weatherman can't give a good report either, I'll try to do the best we can on it. So we're on that one. I did get an update from I got a letter from the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. They are actually going to be scheduled to work on the bridge on Matawan Avenue, the bridge deck, and the Cliffwood Avenue bridge, which is going to be done in the summer of 2021. So they've sent out a letter to me from their engineering firm for myself and the chief and our engineers and DPW just to review. Of course, we're going to have some detouring in the area because it's very narrow bridges, so they don't know if they can keep a lane open to keep traffic going. So they're giving me a little bit ahead of time to go over these things. It's bridge number 119.9 and number 120.7. So kind of early in the conversation, but just to let you guys know that these bridges will be worked on in the summer of 2021. And they're working on it because making sure the schools are closed and hopefully less traffic in that area as the summer goes on. But we'll be getting, it looks like it's going to be milling of the bridge decks, new concrete work, and bridge resurfacing. So we're going to have some newer style and safer bridges in town.
The fence?
I can definitely add that to it. It does not have any words about that, but I have a right to speak to them before the 31st. So
I mean, from the town's perspective, when you ride across both those bridges, the fences look like a patchwork quilt of chain link, particularly on Matawan Avenue. I mean, look, I trust them that the bridge isn't going to fall on the parkway. That's their job. But from the town's perspective, our neighborhood would look a lot nicer if those fences and the posts and stuff like that were upgraded as well.
Not a problem. I will make the comments.
Also, I don't know if someone else can speak to this. They did another bridge in town that they fixed, but I can't remember where it is. And that one looked nice. I remember we were okay with that one.
All right, I'll check with DPW too if they have any updates on it, and I'll get some answers, and I'll let I'll make.
From a municipal perspective, that fencing and all that stuff when you drive down Matawan Avenue, that looked nicer. And if transit would paint their cast iron bridge, that whole neighborhood would look a lot nicer, to be honest with you, between there.
I'll be on it. That's not a problem. Councilwoman, you got a question?
Yes, I just wanted to, I don't know how extensive what they're doing on the bridge is, whether it's recon or what, but that bridge for Mattawan Avenue, the sidewalk is so small for kids to walk across. It always is a problem every year. I mean, when we have a little bit of snow on there or something, that becomes really like dangerous. So you might want to mention to them, I mean, I'm sure all of the different criteria for building these things has changed since they put that up originally. But that one is that's pretty dangerous.
The councilman brings up an excellent point, because approximately a year ago was the first correspondence I was getting from parents. And so, Brian, please make sure that those sidewalks are ADA width, because the councilman is absolutely correct. And that was something that was brought out for my attention, that the sidewalks as the kids are walking across that from school is not safe and not wide enough. So add that to your list too.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Mattawan Avenue includes milling the bridge deck, performing concrete deck repairs, bridge resurfacing and approach resurfacing, and joint reconstruction, as well as miscellaneous repairs as necessary. So I'll make sure the miscellaneous definitely would be fencing. So I'll make comments on that and ask them about the sidewalk, if that mixes with the deck repairs or anything along those lines. So I'll like I said, I have until the 31st to respond up. We'll make comments in.
Thank you, Brian.
And last, I had a conversation with the mayor earlier this week, and he was all for it. And then I went to our wonderful municipal clerk to get her wand out to make sure she can get it done at the county clerk's office. But we were trying to see if we can get since most of the election in November is going to be vote by mail, to have one of the county vote by mail boxes brought to Aberdeen, and hopefully, for the surrounding towns can come to Aberdeen and drop off their vote by mail in case they don't want to mail it, since the post office is not one of the best things right now. I know we are having some problems getting mail. So the clerk, our wonderful clerk, Karen, she did call the county clerk's office, and they have agreed to give us the mail-in ballot box for town. They only do 5 in this massive Monmouth County that we have of, I think, 52 towns, and we are going to be one of the 5 towns to have the drop-off box here at Town Hall at the front entrance. She has secured that for us. They've already given her the word, and again, I want to thank Karen for that, because again, I didn't even have to tell you, I didn't think it was going to happen. I was like, hey, let's just call, and it wasn't with you, Karen. It was just, let's see what happens. We're just Aberdeen, and I mean, they had them in some of the bigger towns, and whatever magic Karen was able to do and tell them how wonderful we are and how great we're going to be, they had no problem giving her a box. We just have to have it secured and put together ourselves, which is going to be fine. We'll take care of that, but we're going to have it in the at the front entrance, outside in the front entrance of Town Hall when it's delivered. And once it's here and ready to go, and we know that the mail-in ballots have been delivered to residents, we will make sure we put plenty of media messages out on all our social media that if you don't want to mail it and you don't want to drive to Freehold to drop it off, that you can just come to Town Hall and drop it off in the secure box. I know I used it during the primary. The closest one to where I was in Oceanport was Eatontown, and I went right over, dumped it in the box, and it was securely put in there. And I know they pick up nightly, so I knew that it was gone at night. So again, Karen, thank you so much. That was a great job that you did, and in a quick turnaround to get the answer. So kudos.
It was
to
a pleasure.
You get to star for her door when I come back from.
Yes. Oh, it's going to cost us, Brian.
Oh, I know.
Brian, it's going to cost us.
I know.
When I started out, I said she was the best in the state. Then I had to go to the country. Now I think we're in the heavens somewhere. That's how great Karen is. And of course, we remind her every day, but job well done, because it's something we all wanted, and we're very blessed to have it. I'm glad we're doing it.
And rather than that, Mayor, I have nothing else at this time for all of you.
Well, good. And let me say also publicly that under your leadership at Town Hall, I really don't think we missed a beat. Putting through our road program, a $5 million road program, continuing our park program, Public Works is working very well. Everybody is doing their job at Town Hall. So thanks to you, Brian. You've done an outstanding job. But I don't know why you had to bring in a power failure too, to show your worth to us. But we really seriously want to thank you for everything that you're doing, because I don't think we've skipped a beat. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate it.
Very good. With everybody's permission and okay, I'm going to flip-flop agenda 6 and 7 because our guest also might have someplace to go. And I don't want to keep her any longer, but it is an honor to have the former Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno with us tonight. She is, Kim, I was going to say something about how you're being fulfilled now in life with Fulfill.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to really say that, but I had to.
It's easy. It's good.
It's easy and it's good. So we're proud to partner with you, and we'll contact people at Fulfill about the food banks and everything else. I'll follow up with your contact. So if you will allow me right now, while you're here, we'd like to read you a proclamation, and our clerk will get it down to you in swift time. So
Thank you.
tonight, on behalf of the entire town council, we have a proclamation, and it's called Hunger Action Month. So whereas hunger and poverty are issues of great concern in the United States, the state of New Jersey, and the township of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Township is committed to taking steps to raise awareness about the need to combat hunger. The Township of Aberdeen is committed to working with Fulfill, formerly the Food Bank of Monmouth and Ocean County, to educate people about the role and importance of food banks in addressing hunger, and to devote more resources and attention to hunger issues. It's shocking that more than 215,000 individuals in Monmouth and Ocean County now rely on food provided by Fulfill and its partners since the beginning of this pandemic. Unemployment level is at the highest it's been in the history of the state, and poverty levels for a family of 4 is just a little bit north of 25,000. And 9.5% of families are living below that. I cannot believe these numbers, Mrs. Guadagno, but since March 13th, you have provided nearly 2 million meals, including 16,000 more meals per day than the year before. And nearly 1 million of those meals were provided to Monmouth County residents. Due to the pandemic, 1 in every 6 people in Monmouth and Ocean County receive emergency food from Fulfill and their network of food pantries, soup kitchens, shelters, and other community organizations. Food banks across the country, including Fulfill, will host numerous events throughout the month of September, and I pledge that Aberdeen will help in any way we can to bring awareness and attention to encourage involvement in efforts to end hunger in our local community. So on behalf of the entire town council, it just gives me great pleasure to recognize September as Hunger Action Month in the Township of Aberdeen and call this observance to the attention of our citizens. So this will be signed and sealed and delivered to you, and I pledge that we will help in all the efforts to make this a successful, not only an awareness, but raising food and collecting that, and we will work with you. I will personally vouch for that. So I want to thank you for sharing your time with us tonight. It's an honor to have you. For all the great work you did in your position as Lieutenant Governor. And I guess there's a special place in your heart for Fulfill. And maybe you'd like a few moments to express some thoughts.
2 seconds, because most people don't think people are hungry in Monmouth County. But before we go too much further, first, my husband's family was born and raised in Matawan, your next door neighbors. Some would argue you are Matawan, and Aberdeen is Matawan. I spent many, many hours at the train station shaking hands and kissing babies. So I feel your pain on many occasions. My administrator. So I also want to say thank you for taking a moment of silence. My son is presently flying an F-35 in the Middle East. And so every time anybody could say a prayer for him, I'm all in for that. And then finally, I want to say when the governor shut down the state, as he had to do, we were designated as essential personnel. And that was on a Friday. On the following Monday, all 56 of my employees came to work. And since that time, in the 160 days that have passed, they have provided 2.1 million more meals in those 160 days than they did the same time year before, or about 14,000 more meals a day. That tells you what the scope of the problem is. It's not going away fast. Until we get a vaccine, I don't think it's going away at all. So anything you can do to just check on your neighbors, see if they're hungry. Mayor, and may I suggest to you and the council, if you do find neighbors that are hungry, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call, because we will send up to Aberdeen as many boxes of emergency food. There's about a 30-pound box that'll feed a family of 4 for 3 days. For free, doesn't cost you anything. Well, let's talk about Ocean County. Let's just say they took advantage of it politically. Put it any way you want. I don't care. So long as we can feed these kids, mostly kids, they get government funded food in the morning, government funded food at lunch. And I always sit on the phone and say, okay, now what are we doing for dinner and the weekends? Oh, that's where we come in. So thank you for taking the time, for recognizing it. Please don't hesitate to reach us. We'll make it happen. Our goal is to simply feed as many people as have to be fed during this pandemic and afterwards. So thank you for having me. Thank you for the resolution. It will go on the wall, and we will call on you if we need something during the month we call Hunger Action Month. Thanks.
We'll be here for you. Thank you so very much, Lieutenant Governor, and good luck, and we're here for you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Very
Thank you
much.
so very much.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you. Now I would like to jump back to what was agenda item number 6, which is the hearing of the citizens. And we used to take part of our meeting and explain, but Brian, maybe you want to take a second or two and
Sure. So anyone that is, of course, I'm sorry, but anyone that's calling in by phone, you'll be able to hear the conversation of what's going on, but you will not be able to ask the question. If you do, you can email my account, my work account that is that I check continuously as the meeting's going on. It's bryan.russell@aberdeennj.org. For any questions, just name and address and your question, and I will read that aloud to the mayor and council. If you are coming in by a smartphone, laptop, PC, tablet, once you're on the site here, once you're in, you have 2 options. You should have a raised hand function on your drop bar in the front. And if you don't have that, if you go to the button that says reactions, if you click that, you'll have a thumbs up or a clapping hand. If you just use that, I see that, and I will unmute you so you can talk to the mayor and council and ask your question. Right now is the portion of the meeting that's on agenda items only. So if anyone has any questions regarding the agenda items for this evening, please do the raised hand function or the reaction button, and I will unmute you to ask your question. And Mayor, at this time, I have no emails and no one raising their hand for agenda items only.
okay. Well, why don't we just simply say that at any time in the next few days, if someone does have a question, to call myself or the manager or anybody on the council with any questions at any time on any subject, and we could help. If you would allow me, there's something that I wanted to bring up before, but I'll bring it up now. There has been some questions about the, correct the numbers if I'm wrong, Brian, the $500,000 we passed a few meetings ago about the second stage of Storyland. And I just wanted, because that person's been shy, they've been asking other people about it. And that basically was a second stage of Storyland, in which we were tackling the drainage on the field and putting up new fences around the entire circumference of the park. So I just wanted to get that out there publicly.
Yes, that's the drainage, the fencing for the entire park from one side to the far end of the other, all the way up the hill, and a swing set in the lower section down by the fields.
Yeah, so that person might have been too shy to call us, but hopefully the word will get out to them that that's what that was. It was a second stage to Storyland, and so I just wanted to get that out there. So are we sure we have no questions, Mr. Manager? Or
Nothing coming up, Mayor.
okay, well then I'm going to ask Councilman Hirsch if he'd be so kind as to give us a motion for item number 8.
Thank you, Mayor. To the mayor and deputy mayor, excuse me, and my fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes from the workshop and regular meeting of April 16th, 2020.
Second.
Councilman Cannon. Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montone.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martucci.
Yes.
Mayor Taglerini.
Yes, thank you very much. And Deputy Mayor, would you kindly do item 9, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda, resolution number 2020-102 and resolution number 2020-103.
Second.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montone.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Martucci.
Yes.
Mayor Taglerini.
Yes, thank you very much. Now I'd like to open the meeting. Item number 10, the hearing of citizens correspondence petition. We call it new business. Whatever may be on your mind tonight, just indicate to the manager in the way he did explain before, and we'll take any questions that anyone has or comments at this point in time.
Okay, Steve, just please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, guys. Steve Nascimento, 859 Malden Drive. I just had a quick question with regards to the intersection over in Cliffwood Beach on Prospect and Amboy. Happened to witness another near miss accident last week where somebody coming on Amboy Avenue from 35 almost got hit by a car coming down Amboy Avenue again with that bit of a blind intersection. And I happened to be on my bike and witnessed and heard the screeching tires, and just seems like a bad intersection. And I'm wondering if there's any plans at any time to look into what can be done to improve that intersection. I know Prospect Avenue there is in really terrible shape, and I was thinking maybe it's probably all going to be repaved and overhauled, that whole intersection, but was just curious if it's on the radar of the town.
For traffic wise, I will have to reach out to the chief and have a conversation with him, with the traffic department in the near future. I will make sure we have some extra patrols out there to regulate the speed and how people are turning on and off onto the road. So I'll start with that. After that, I'll have to talk to him about a actual action plan. If again, I'll give you my email address. If you want to send me your contact information, myself or the chief can reach back out to you personally, and we can let you know what we can try to do over there. Most likely you'll hear from the chief or our commander for the traffic division, and we can kind of give you a little bit more conversation on that. But again, if you email me your info, it's again, it's bryan.russell@aberdeenNJ.org, brian.russell. And we can, we'll give you.
Brian, I'll help you out a little bit too.
Go ahead, Councilman.
I mean, there was a fatal accident there a couple of years ago. And And so we looked at this. So number one, I know that the code enforcer looks at the hedges on that corner on a periodic basis because it's kind of a blind corner when the hedges get up. So I know that that's being actively monitored by Officer Marr. Number two, I know the engineer is aware of the issue. Amboy's a county road. So we're going to have to deal with the county engineer to figure that out. But I know that when Prospect comes up on our list, that the township engineer is already aware of the need to do something to control that speed or warnings or otherwise, because it's a short route from people going 55 miles an hour down 35, and then they're not really in a hurry to stop, and it's kind of limited visibility. So in terms of like whether we're aware of it, we are absolutely aware of it. And this council was very concerned and has been very concerned since the gentleman, I believe he was hit on a motorcycle going across that intersection. He was killed. And so we're definitely aware of it. I don't think it's something we've actually expressed to Brian in particular. I know that it was on my radar for when Prospect comes up to go back over with the engineer about what we can do. We obviously can't put a stop sign in the middle of the county's roadway without their permission, which would not be the obvious solution, which is make it a four-way stop. And with the corner before it, it's not clear that it meets the parameters of a four-way stop when you're coming from Wagner's Marina or Blue Rock, coming around there, because the stop sign would come up pretty quick on you at that speed and the speed on that road. So it is it's an old intersection. So, but we're aware of it. Just so you know, obviously now Brian's aware of it, although we haven't had a specific discussion about this before. And I know that the code enforcer watches it at minimum, and the police usually sit a lot of times, or they used to sit next to the ham vans in the community center lot to watch it. I know the chief had them doing that for a while. And then it always picks up in the summertime when the boat trailers come down the road. That's a big part of it as well. But that's the whole thing in a nutshell. We're definitely aware of it here, but we don't have a very good solution at this moment.
Yeah, the edges definitely on that one property seem to be contributing to the issue. And that property, they sometimes park a large pickup truck, which on that particular day happened to be parked there. So whenever they park on Amboy Avenue, and especially if it's a larger vehicle, it really does create a blind spot. I don't necessarily blame the person on Prospect that started to proceed into the intersection, and then the other vehicle on Amboy Avenue was probably speeding and again, almost resulted in another collision there. But at least it was two vehicles. The only other quick question was, I was curious if I see I'm on Pinehurst and Malden Drive, and I see the work now about to start on Sherwood. I was curious if the municipality has some sort of a bond period, if it's like a 5 or a 10-year warranty period for when a whole street is redone and
2 years.
Reconstructed.
It's a 2-year maintenance bond.
2 year? Okay, so never mind. I had a question with regards to Pinehurst and some larger cracks that are starting to form, but they're minor in the grand scheme of things. But I know it was
in the roadway.
In the roadway, yeah. They're big enough where there's no weeds and stuff kind of growing in the street that I'm like weed whacking, and it's just
about 12 years. I think Pinehurst is about 12 years old.
Oh, is it that old already?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was right before me, Fred, and Margaret were elected, I believe, right? Because I think it's 2008. If I had a bet on it, but it's right on the period. So just so you know, we're actively monitoring those kind of cracks and stuff like that. What we're trying to do is finish all the roads that are a disaster, like Prospect, Van Brackle, Atlantic, and mostly the Strathmore original roads that cost a lot of money. And then the goal is to do what we're doing on Hawthorne, and then we're hopefully do on Golden next year, which is go through like what I call the ladder rungs of the beach and just keep resurfacing them instead of having to pay to redo them all the time. Because now you have the curbs on Pinehurst, which keeps the road contained and nice so it's not falling apart like places where we don't have the road. So the idea is to put those rolled curbs everywhere so that we don't wait until your street looks like Sherwood to come back again. That's the plan. But frankly, we don't have the money to do that until we finish digging all the concrete at Strathmore and finish the roads that are a disaster, like Prospect, where all the sewers were all dug up and everything. But we're getting very, very close. And so hopefully the plan is the roads like yours that were here when 3 of us first got up here, or now we'll come back to them and mill and overlay them and then start doing the roads, hopefully, if we keep getting reelected, over and over and over. That's the plan.
No, understood. I was only here for 4 years and I thought it had been repaved a lot more recent than that.
No, but that also gives you a good indication of how much better the pavement is today than they used to lay down 25 years ago. Because Pinehurst still looks very good because it's sloped nicely. The water runs right off of it. And so, yeah, that's the goal, is to make all the roads last that long. And then we don't have to pay for them over and over and over like we've been doing for the last 50 years. That's the goal of this council, to try to stop that cycle. That's why you're seeing all the road curbs in Cliffwood Beach and stuff like that.
Yep, much appreciated. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks for your
Thank
service
you
to the
very
town.
much.
You going to join the environmental board?
Yes,
Yeah, well, thank you for your service. We appreciate that as well, volunteerism.
thank you.
And one more time. And Mayor, I see nobody else at this time with questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian, and we thank everybody for joining us tonight. Again, something else just popping in because there's so much going on. But Census 2020 has started door to door. We put out an email blast earlier in the week telling everyone about that. So, but there's ways of not getting that knock on the door. If you go online or if you do call, you can circumvent that knock on the door. So we ask everyone, please be counted, and also to continue to be as safe as you can, and keep wearing your mask, keep washing your hands, social distance, and we just wish you all the best of health as we get through this. And so with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn from someone.
Motion to
motion.
adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
second on that? Second? Go, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Bye.
Okay, well, thank you all very much. Thank you for everybody joining us. Be healthy, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Fred, you